everyone, Jellica here from aprettyfix.com and welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new here, I share beginner-friendly and modern crafts, decor, and DIY ideas to up your home style. Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you a beginner-friendly approach to creating your first statement gallery wall. I'm actually going to be sharing with you two different designs, and I'm going to be bringing you along and taking you through the process step by step. And the guinea pig was our guest bedroom. The wall space really did need to be refreshed. It hadn't been decorated in a number of years. And it just so happens that we have guests coming by this very weekend. And so I'm kind of excited for them to be sleeping there. I really wanted to create a calm and serene space, and I think I captured that. For today's DIY, I am super excited to be partnering with Opposite Wall, who is sponsoring today's video. Opposite Wall is an online Canadian-based company that offers these beautiful, minimal, modern prints and frames at really affordable prices. That's because they are a direct-to-consumer design studio, with all their pieces being printed on demand. So all the savings are passed on to consumers. Opposite Wall is also eco-friendly. They use sustainable materials. I mean, what's not to love about that? Well, without further ado, let's get into today's DIY. Okay, so I am now in the guest bedroom, and I will show you the wall space that I have to work with and the two mini gallery wall ideas that I have for that space. So idea number one would be to create a mini gallery wall just above the headboard, just kind of covering that area up there, making sure that it is just high enough that nobody hits their head on the gallery wall. And then the second idea is going to be to create a picture ledge right across the top and then line up all of the printed pieces on that picture ledge. Before purchasing anything, measure the space that you want to cover. And in this case, it's easiest to focus on the space directly above the headboard. So at minimum, measure the width of your headboard and then purchase prints that cover that width or a little less. And if you have a low profile headboard like I do, then I suggest creating a gallery wall that's also low profile, meaning that the gallery wall doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. So the first thing I did was get onto Opposite Wall's website and select my prints and frames. So if this is your first time discovering Opposite Wall, all the prints are shipped internationally, but their frames are only available to residents of North America. But I can tell you that most of their prints do fit IKEA rubber frames. In fact, I have a number of prints from Opposite Wall, and I use IKEA rubber frames, and they fit perfectly. One of the other really cool features is this DIY gallery wall guide that they have on their website, where they show you how to put together a gallery wall using their prints, and they show you lots of different statement wall ideas, which I absolutely love. Once all of my prints and frames arrived, it was time to unpack all of my goodies. Once you remove all of your prints from the tube, you'll want to give them time to flatten out. The easiest way to do that is to lay them down upside down over a clean sheet of paper, and then just place all of your frames on top, and then give it a day or two, remove the frames, and you'll notice that it'll flatten out nicely. And now it's time to pop those prints into your frames. The back is really easy to remove, and the plastic film that covers it. You just pop the prints in, put the backing back on, and secure it. For the first gallery wall, we're going to be using a horizontal flat lay design. And for this design, all you really need are pieces that line up horizontally more or less. To make your gallery wall really pop, I suggest using one large piece to act as a focal point, then use smaller pieces for contrast. And to create balance, place that one large piece close to the midpoint. Of course, it's one thing to create your perfect gallery wall on a floor, and it's another thing to hang it up. So you've probably all seen this technique before. Just grab some postal paper or craft paper and trace around each of your frames, cut them out, and set them aside. If you don't want to use nails on your wall or damage the wall in any way, then I would recommend that you purchase these 3M command strips. They come as a pair. You just attach them in the middle with these fasteners. They just kind of click into place. And then this is what you will use to adhere your frames to the wall without actually damaging the wall. So just remove the green liner and attach it to the frame. And these are perfect because they are extra narrow and they're just perfect for those modern minimal frames. I absolutely love them. So typically when you hang artwork above a piece of furniture, you don't want it to be too high, otherwise it looks like it's floating. But in this case, I don't want it to hit anybody's head if they are sitting up in bed. So I used myself as a reference point. I then marked the midpoint of the headboard. I then went ahead and did the exact same thing for the gallery wall that I created on the floor by measuring it out from end to end and then finding that midpoint. In this case, the midpoint runs right through the focal print. So I just grabbed the postal paper that I used to trace around it and also measured it there. So now it's time to put the postal paper to the test by attaching each piece to the wall above the headboard. And this is just a great way to ensure that you are really happy with your design, the height of it, the placement. And one thing that is, I would say, optional is to use a little level even when you're hanging the postal paper. This will give you a really good idea of how the gallery wall will look once the postal paper has been removed. I would also recommend that you use painter's tape to hang up your postal paper so you don't damage the walls. One last tip to creating a cohesive statement gallery wall is to make sure that you do not measure more than 2 or 3 inches between each of the prints. If you want to stagger it just a little bit, like I did here, go for it, but otherwise keep it clean and minimal. Just before hanging your prints, mark the midpoint at the top of the craft paper and then mark the midpoint of each print. And that'll give you a guiding reference point that you can use to hang up each of your prints. Then taking a ruler and that level, mark a couple of other spots along the way just to guide the top end of your print. Now you can start hanging your prints, making sure to remove the green backing from the 3M strips. I recommend starting with the focal point and then work your way out just to make sure that nothing is thrown off if you have a slight discrepancy in the measurements going from left to right or right to left. Now here are the final results for gallery wall look number 1. Before we can start working on look number 2, we have to remove the prints from the gallery wall. And as you can see, the 3M strips actually pull apart. Those pieces that click together now pull apart. And then you just have to remove the pieces that are adhered to the wall. And they come off quite easily without leaving any damage on your walls. So it's such a great trick, such a great tip that I highly recommend. So again, I used myself as a measuring guide to determine the height of the picture ledge, and then I added 2 or 3 inches. Again, I don't want the edge of the picture ledge to hit anybody's head as they're, laying down for the night. So grabbing the picture ledge, I lined it up with the points that I marked along the top, and then I used the pencil to mark just one of the holes along the ledge. Then taking a punch tool, create a hole at that point that you just marked. This particular ledge came with hardware, including this sleeve, so just screw the sleeve into the hole that you just created. Sleeves are a great way to protect the wall. It acts as a better anchor, especially when you have load-bearing materials hanging off of it. Then grabbing your picture ledge, add a screw directly into the sleeve. I would also recommend using an extra long level just to make sure that your picture ledge is absolutely horizontal. It really does come in handy. Then taking that punch tool, mark the other holes in the wall as well. So then you're going to actually remove that first screw out of the wall so that you're able to attach the other sleeves into the wall before proceeding. And now you can attach the picture ledge by inserting all of the screws that go directly into the sleeves you've just created. Easy peasy. And now of course the fun part, which is adding all of the prints to the picture ledge, and you can really have fun and play around with it. My biggest tip for creating the perfect display on a picture ledge is to create a kind of mountain effect. Put a taller one next to a shorter one, next to another tall one and another short one. But it doesn't have to be a perfect mountain range, something that just allows your eye to go up and down along the ledge. And now here's gallery wall look number 2. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed today's DIY, and thanks again to Opposite Wall for sponsoring today's video. I don't know, which gallery wall did you guys prefer, the horizontal flat lay or the picture ledge display? Comment below and let me know. As always, if you did enjoy today's DIY, then please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, bye everyone.